Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video I wanted to talk about the most important magic charms you should be refining and double refining to boost your score in Ravaged realm. So of course we have the Dauntless Squad today. We'll go ahead and begin with that. Now, if you are using Bailran, of course, Bailran is going to be your hardest hitting damage dealer. If you take a look at the score and that damage output from Bailran, no one can even match him or come close to him in Dauntless Squad. So if you have Bailran, even if you're using him at lower copies, which he does work for, and he's in your top team, get him the insight charms and double refine them to max out his stats as much as possible. That is going to be a score boost for you. After that, Smokey is going to be the second most important hero to double refine the charms on, because as you see, a lot of damage is coming from Smokey, and regardless of which team you're running, even a non-Bailran team for Dauntless Squad, Smokey is going to be a key damage dealer for you. So whether you have the sorcery or recovering charms on him, it doesn't matter. Just double refine them and then look for that good RNG. Now, as you see from the rest of the score report, Shakira, Zandrock, Mikola, they hardly deal any damage. And so refining their charms is not a priority at all. And honestly, the reason you get a good score in Team 1 is just based on the RNG and getting an extra tick of the blue aura of Smokey. Boosting the charms of Shakira and Zandrock hardly is going to change anything. So I wouldn't recommend even refining them. I haven't even bothered refining them right now, and it just will not make much of an impact. Now, team number 2. If you look at team number 2, the key damage dealer is OD. So OD, you need to first test which charms are working better for you. In this team, Insight charms are working better for me on my OD, and just to show you the formation, this is the formation. Insight charms are working better for me on OD. If you have already confirmed whether Insight or Gale charms are better for you, because for different people, different ones are working, then after that, you can refine and even double refine OD's charms, because he is the hardest hitting damage contributor in this team. Now, it is not going to give you a big score difference, and keep in mind that a lot of your score is just going to be based on the RNG of team number 1 anyway, but it will be some minor boost. The other heroes here, Seth and Kruger, if you're running this team lineup, having Seth and Kruger on team 2, I found that I refined their charms and it hardly boosted my score. It's such a minor upgrade that it just doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're running the optimal charms on Seth and Kruger, which are acute charms for Seth. Those are recommended. And Kruger, either you run the Mystic or the Reaper. Both are good options and both are good. Whichever one you have, just run it and they will do almost the same. However, if you're running Seth and Kruger on team number 1, like you're running a more budget version of Dauntless Squad because you don't have Bailran and you're running like the free-to-play version, then of course refining Seth's charms, refining Kruger's charms will be more of a priority, because when they're on team number 1, their damage output is going to be higher. So a good rule of thumb you can just look at is look at the damage contribution in your score report, and whoever is the hardest hitting damage contributors, those are the charms that you double refine or even refine at all. Okay, let's move on to the other squads. So we have the Immortal Squad. It depends, of course, again, what sort of team you're running. But of course, the ones which needed to be double refined, Shimira needs to be double refined on Butcher Charms, Insight onto Ludovic needs to be double refined, Pandora needs to be double refined on Blast. Now, as for the other heroes, it doesn't really matter. Damon is going to be one of the heroes you want to think about refining after. Again, you can look at your score reports. If you're using, for example, if you look at the team that I'm running for team number 2, my Velka doesn't contribute much damage in this team lineup, and so I haven't even bothered refining her charms. However, if you're running an alternate team with Velka on the faction tile, then her damage contribution is going to be in the like 3 or 4 trillion damage. Then you can refine her charms and make it more of a priority. But for my lineup, I didn't make it a priority. Maybe I will consider doing it. Maybe at least single refine it if I have some left over. But she's not a major priority. If you're running this team number 2 though with Damon buffing up Shimira, and you see the Damon damage output, do double refine Damon's charms as well, because he's a decent damage contributor here. Shimira, of course, needs to be double refined, and like we said, Pandora and Ludovic need to be. But these are if you're running this Celestial team, and it works even at 1 copies of these heroes, as I explained in the Immortal Squad videos. However, you do not need to have these charms refined at all. Their damage contribution is so minor. Just make sure they're running these charms, and do not even waste any resources on refining them. It's all about the Pandora and Ludovic, and then the RNG. RNG is a lot in like Immortal Squad as well. So basically, those are the key heroes for Immortal Squad. If you're running the fully Graveborn team, again, it's kind of the same, because the only difference is you have Valka on the faction tile, and then she's going to be your major damage healer, and then you can refine her charms, double refine them, and Damon as well. However, the other heroes, Niru, Thorin, Bonnie, whatever you're using, they do not contribute any meaningful damage. They do not need to be refined at all, not even a single refined. So that's basically the thing about Immortal Squad. Okay, let's move over to Sylvan Squad. So when we talk about Sylvan Squad, it is a little bit confusing, because double refining any one hero's charms is not going to make a big score gap in this squad. Is different from the other squads, like, you know, in Dauntless Squad, Baleran, Smokey, they make a big score difference. In Immortal Squad, we had Pandora, Ludovic, and Shamira. They make a big difference. In Sylvan Squad, it's kind of like you eventually want to refine and double refine charms on multiple heroes. Now, let's just talk about which ones those are. So first and foremost, Lily May and Granny, these should be your two heroes because they're going to be running whichever team you're running. You're going to run Lily May and Granny together. Double refine both of their charms, Resolute on Granny, Sorcerer on Lily May, because their damage output is some of the highest for team number 1. Now, as for the other ones, Valara is Mystic Charms is doing the best for the majority of teams, and you can double refine them, because that's going to increase her stat seal buff value, that's going to increase the attack buff that she's going to provide to your allies. It's a minor amount, however, every bit might make somewhat of a difference. And then you have your damage dealer, whether you're running Pang, Indris, Lenya, if they are a damage contributor, if their damage output is high, like above 2 trillion damage on team number 1, you can take a look at your report. Then do refine their charms and even double refine. And eventually I will double refine it, but it is not going to make a big difference. Basically, that's the thing to keep in mind. The one that makes the biggest difference is the Granny. The Granny, her stats, her double refinement is going to be the biggest game changer, and then also Lily May as well. Okay, looking at team number 2. Team number 2, really the only hero you want to consider refining is Pharamore, and again, is not going to make a big difference because Pharamore, his damage is going to be good whether you have him at +5 exclusive equipment, +20, or even if you have him with the double refined charms. So he's not a major priority. Your score boost is going to be very minor, even if you refine and double refine. Eventually, you will want to do it, and either Arcane or Mystic Charms onto Pharamore, but really focus on team 1 first. Lily May, your Granny, number 1 and number 2, and then Valara, Mystic Charms, and then your final hero, if they are a damager like Pang here, and then you're just that's going to be min-maxing your score, but basically, it isn't going to make a huge score gap, so don't expect crazy upgrades or anything like that in your score. Okay, Aurora Squad is very important. A lot of the damage is coming from Atalanta, majorly from Atalanta. So most important for everyone, even if your Atalanta is not upgraded, and because Atalanta still will probably be in the top team for you, even if you don't have Atalanta highly upgraded, even if she's at low copies. So what you need to do, you need to get her Butcher Charms, because those are the best for her, and you need to double refine them. You need to give Atalanta as much stats as possible, because you see she is the hardest hitting damage contributor of this team. Now the other heroes here, Faye, it does not matter. Double refining her charms is a complete waste. You should not bother refining Faye charms. Hugin, it is not very important. Blast charms, double refining them, is just because it gives himself a bit more attack, and his attack buff he gives to allies scales on his own attack, but it's going to be such a minor boost of attack buff that this hardly even matters, is not a priority. Harak is a priority. Now, it depends. You're going to have to do testing and see which comp is working for you, which charms are working for you. However, the top scores have been hit with balance charms, and they've been hit with butcher charms. So for both of those sets, or whichever set you're running, double refine them. If they're double refined, Harak will have more stats. He is a hard-hitting damage dealer. He does HP loss damage for this Ravaged run. So you do want to also double refine Harak charms, whichever one you're running. You know, I'm going to eventually double refine both, because I've been testing with balance. I have them double refined, but I'm also going to double refine Butcher for him. Okay, moving on to team number 2. So team number 2, if you're using Zany, you just want Gale Charms. Double refining, it's not going to make a big score difference. This is the thing about team 2s and like azkarion'sol in this Ravage run, is that stats hardly make a score gap in team number 2. Because your team number 2 damage kind of hits like a threshold, which you can't really break. However, that being said, eventually, if you're using Zany, Gale Charms, double refine them. If you're using merely overloaded charms, single refine, you can double refine them. But just basically don't make your team number 2 the major priority. Get your team number 1 set, and that's basically Harak and your Atalanta. Frestro, he doesn't need his charms double refined technically. However, I have them single refined. He does some decent damage output. So you could have even eventually double refined Frestro charms if you have more resets left for over. But if you're not running Harak and you're just running a light bearer team with Atalanta and Merrily, then you want to refine both of their charms. Like if you're running a team number 1, any team number 1 damage dealer you're running, along with Atalanta, whether it be Walker, whether it be Merrily, and then walkers use more, or Sinbad, you want to double refine their charms, because the team number 1 is where a lot of the damage is coming in from, and so double refining gets more value on team number 1 for your damage dealer compared to team number 2. But like, just to recap it, if you're running the Harok team, it's Atalanta number 1, Harok number 2, then Fresto and Zany like number 3, and then Hugin final. The other heroes do not matter. If you're running the no Harok team, it would be Atalanta and Walker first, or Atalanta and Sinbad, whoever you're running on team number 1 along with Atalanta. That damage deal should be double refine, and then team number 2, your damage deal is double refine. But anyway, guys, that's basically going to be it for the recap of all the key charms you want to refine and double refine for Ravaged to perform to your best potential. And that's basically all we're shooting for right now, because your Dream Realm heroes probably are already double refined, the damage dealers that is, like, you know, Shamira, Ludovic, Pandora, Baelran. Basically, everyone has all of these heroes double refined already, the damage dealers for Dream Realm. So like, that's not a priority anymore. It's just about this Ravaged and trying to squeeze out as much damage as you can. And this is going to be important, because when we get the ultimate siege, which is happening in just over 6 days from right now, your score of all 4 of your squads are going to be added up, and then this is when you're going to be competing for the ranking rewards. And so, like, any little bit of boost you can get, it can mean multiple ranks, rank ups, right? Compared to not having that score boost. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you have any other tips, feel free to share them in the comment section down below. If you guys are not already a member of my AFK Journey Discord server, please join that. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And also, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Firelight store. There's a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.